This is going to be a Candlemancorner on the Mrrusty366 channel. Since I figured out kind of where the microphone is, this is the way I'm going to do a video so that I can finally be heard. I'll be making a bunch of little teeny videos and slamming them all together. Unfortunately, YouTube really doesn't like the Kindle Fire formatted videos for whatever reason, and it is not happy with the videos if they are close to a minute long. So I have to keep everything about 30 to maybe 40 seconds tops, unfortunately. So in today's Candlemancorner here on Mrrusty366, I will be talking about some of the things that I want to do diet-wise to get back to where I need to be. Just a little side note, there's a stupid little mosquito flying around in my room, and hopefully I will kill it before it tries to bite me or fly like right by my ear again and annoy me. I have decided that I want to cut out all dairy from my diet. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do that. I think maybe I want to start this week. It's going to be challenging, but it's something that needs to be done for reasons that I have been cheating on my diet with ice cream. Ice cream is, of course, a dairy product. So if Mr. Rusty, also known as Candleman, is not allowed to have dairy, then therefore I will not be able to have ice cream, and I will not be cheating on my diet with ice cream, and I can really stick to the freebies list that is not considered dairy. I have also decided to cut out all carbonation. So in the past, to prevent myself from drinking soda, I would allow myself to have fizzy carbonated water. However, fizzy carbonated water does cause anybody to appear a little bit bigger than they actually are. I would mix my own carbonated water, and I would do this with my SodaStream machine. The issue with using the SodaStream machine is we always keep the syrups right next to the SodaStream machine, so there's always that temptation to mix some of that syrup in with the carbonated water, even if my intention was to create just carbonated water. Some of the syrups have sugar in it. Even though it is not high fructose corn syrup, it is still sugar. So therefore it is going against my diet plan. And the diet syrups, even though it does not contain aspartame, it does contain sucralose, also known as Splenda. The sucralose, also known as Splenda, is the stuff that's in the yellow packets. And what that does, one of the side effects is that it causes the good belly bacteria for good quality digestion to reduce. And so by consuming the yellow packets, it actually goes against what I'm trying to do with my diet. Okay, so now the question is, what can I eat? What can I drink that will not have anything to do with dairy and has zero carbonation? And so now I need to hammer out a good quality plan to make sure that I remain true to this new goal that I have in mind. It has been suggested within the 100 that if you do choose to eat fruit, to go ahead and just have 2 servings of fruit per day. So I'm going to go ahead and have that 2 servings of fruit, but I'll have it chilled. So I will go ahead and have the Buff Dude's 1 ingredient ice cream, which isn't actually ice cream at all. What you do is you unpeel 2 bananas, you slice them up into little banana chips, and then you freeze them in the freezer for a few hours, and then you blend it up in a blender or mixer of some kind, and it has a consistency similar to ice cream. I've yet to try it out, but it's something that I'm looking forward to try out. I also want to really get back into the mode of dieting. I really want to get back into eating plenty of vegetables along with the proteins. So I have plenty of broccoli and plenty of bell peppers as well. And so I'll be doing all kinds of dishes with bell peppers, broccoli, and various types of protein. My favorite types of protein that I almost never get tired of is bacon. And the other forms of protein I do get tired of, so I have to kind of go through kind of a cycle to prevent myself from getting overly tired of the diet and giving up. So I will take you through kind of the rotation that I do pretty frequently. I usually have a tendency to eat bacon, keep the grease on the foiled pan, and then cook chicken. I've done a video on this. It's quite good. But after a while, chicken gets kind of old and boring, so I have to look for something else other than chicken. So I kind of make a move over to fish instead. I will use canned tuna fish, canned salmon, and I will also use the frozen fish, various types of white fish. You can buy it really cheap at the store. Just make sure that it is not breaded. Make sure it's the plain stuff without anything added to it, and then you can just kind of spice it up yourself. After a little while, fish gets boring, and at that point, sometimes I go back to chicken, but there are times where I just kind of really overdid chicken way too much. So chicken is not at all appetizing, even after a full week of fish. So I go ahead and I move over to beef, which seems to be my least favorite form of protein. I don't really know why. When I do have beef, I will have little hamburger patties, but I eat it like a steak. I don't add a bun to the burger. And then I just kind of eat it with mustard and maybe I'll add some mayonnaise, maybe I'll add a tomato, maybe I'll even have lettuce. I'll have all the toppings of a burger, but I leave out the bread because bread is against the diet plan, of course. So that is the main rotation. I normally rotate between the chicken and fish, but as mentioned, sometimes I get tired of both, so I head over to beef. But usually by like Wednesday, I'm totally tired of beef, so I have to switch to something else, and usually I switch over to eating some eggs. Chicken eggs can be a good safe haven, at least for me, because I can finish out the week just kind of having eggs. There's different ways to prepare it. I can have it boiled, I can fry it, I can scramble it, I can add eggs to certain recipes, and I know full well that there are eggs in that recipe, so I can count it as my protein. After a while, though, eggs becomes kind of boring to me, usually by the time Saturday hits. And at that point, I really hone in on my old friend bacon. So I'll have, the old dish, bacon and eggs. And it all turns out real nice for me. And then I get tired of eggs altogether, so I just have the bacon. And then normally I have a little bit of turkey bacon, which isn't really bacon at all, but it's just kind of a bacon alternative. And so I'll go ahead and have some turkey bacon with the bacon. And that kind of gets me back into the mode of eating poultry. And since I was kind of back into the mode of eating the poultry, I mean, even though eggs, it comes from a poultry animal, but I kind of get back in the mode of chicken, and I'm okay with eating chicken again for at least another week. Sometimes I can do chicken for 2 weeks solid, but after that I get really tired of it. I've also noticed I kind of have a rotation with my vegetables as well. There are weeks that I can eat broccoli every single day, and I'm totally fine with that. But after a while, broccoli becomes boring, so then I'll switch to bell peppers. And I have some really awesome dishes that I use bell peppers and tuna fish or chicken. Normally it's stuff with lots of mayonnaise, which is totally fine to have on my diet plan. And when I'm tired of having broccoli and I'm tired of having bell peppers, I just kind of turn everything into salads. So I'll just have a whole bunch of lettuce. And sometimes I'll even have some carrots, even though carrots are considered a starchy vegetable. It's not nearly as starchy as a russet potato, but it is still starch, so I don't go overboard on it, but I just eat enough to have something go with the lettuce. After a while, I get kind of tired of having everything be a salad, so then I move back to either using bell peppers or going back to broccoli, one or the other. Though I will say that when I do have the salad week, that is usually when I have a tendency to lose more weight. I'm not really sure why that is. That's the way that I diet, and I mention it so that you know my happy little secret that's not really a secret at all. But I'm also mentioning this so that I can get myself into the mode of really honing in back on the way that I know I should diet to get into better shape, lose some weight, and overall be more healthy.